Hi, my brothers and sisters. This is Mary Hernandez with Genesis Kingdom, Part 3. And the title is still Mount Zion is the Holy Hill. You know, the Holy Hill is the Mount Zion. That's where our King has been, always will be. Now 1 Kings 11. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Syrians, and Hittites. It says, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, you shall not go in them, but neither shall they come unto you. For surely if I turn away your heart, this is surely they will turn away your heart after other gods. And Solomon clave onto this in love. You know, this is, and the reason why I say this is not just Solomon that did that. If you read over in Kings 1, 2, and Chronicles 1 and 2, I honestly believe it's like maybe the total of 3 kings that actually didn't. When you go into kinship and you go and you're taking territory, you ask him what the Lord said. Take down the altars. No altars, no other idols, but the creator of heaven and earth. You know, and this is just goes to tell you the reason why he tells you not to. You know, because they pull you away from me. This goes to the women and to the men. Because we have nothing in common. What did I say over and over again? That's why they pick the daughters and the sons to marry somebody from a strange land. You're a foreigner in a strange land. And let me tell you this, even as we're going and promising into our promised land, because he's the God of the living, we're still going to preach the truth to them. Because what if you make a difference and save somebody? You know, you could, because the world is coming to an end. The end of the darkness, but the beginning of the new heaven, the new earth. But if you can make a difference in somebody's life, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? You know? Then he said 700 wives and princes and 300 concubines, and these wives turned away from his heart. For it came to pass that Solomon was old, and his wives turned away his heart after other gods. And his heart was not perfect with the Lord of God, but as the heart of David his father. For Solomon went after Asheroth and goddesses, and of Sidons, and after Milcom. It says, in the abominations of the Ammonites. You know, because a lot of people think that it's a goddesses, that means it's a god. No, they're not even goddesses. I don't know why they call them that. Because because they represent, you know, the darkness. They're elements for the kingdom of darkness. Elements are kings and queens of darkness, you know. And that's the right way to say it, because they're the king of the darkness, the queen of the darkness, the evil. It's pure evil, you know. So there's a difference between an angel of God and the angel of the darkness, you know. We have nothing in common. And you see some of them that would try to bring strange sacrifice. What does that mean? That they try to bring like a covet to Father and say, bless thee. But it's somebody from darkness. Why is he going to bless him? He told them don't do it, and they did it. That goes to the man and to the woman, not just to the woman, not just to the man. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord and went to do fully. It says, and went not fully after the Lord, as David did his father. And did Solomon build a high place for Chemosh, an abomination of Moab, and before Jerusalem, and for Moloch, the abomination for the children of Ammon. Moloch was the one that you sacrificed babies to, children to. And he built an altar for him. Do you see why he says that? Even though, say your heart is pure and you really think, I will never do that to God. I will never do that. But then a woman is either going to bring the best in you, or she's going to bring out the worst in you. Either she's going to want you to be the best of everything that you were created to be. You're a king, for God says. You're a queen, for God says. And a queenship, because you're king woman. So God is going to put you with somebody that's going to be a king, a kingdom world changer with you, a kingdom leader with you. And if they're serving the ways of the world, then what do you think we're going to do? We're going to do exactly what what the covet that they did, the kings with the daughter of Babylon, is bring disaster on this world. We already have enough ugliness going on in this world. He's looking for leadership that's going to seek the things of the kingdom of world, the best for this world. Is it going to be perfect? Probably not. He knows ourselves. He knows that we're not perfect, and meaning that we're silly. We laugh, we do silly things, but not evil things. There's a difference. That's why he says, follow the 10 commandments, not the ways of the world, because they kill, steal, and destroy. The sacrifice. They kill. Why do we want that? We have unsolved murders. We have children that go missing every day. A daughter, a son, a sister, a brother, a mother, a grandmother. Why? Why would he want you mixed with somebody that really doesn't care? He knows he wants positive world leaders that are going to be world changers. And I have played this song with you that is called The Man in the Mirror, that Michael Jackson. You're the man in the mirror and you're the woman in the mirror. So you're going to bring out the best I'm going to bring out the best of my king. And I know that he's going to bring out the best of me. But he had to heal me from those wounds, from those scars that I had in this world. He said, I am not going to put you in a relationship, because then you're going to sit there and bring what happened to you, what happened in the last relationship. You're going to come and bring that to the new relationship. He said, why would I want that? He said that we're doomed for disaster all over again. And I would have probably taken out on him something that he had nothing to do with. And that's not fair to him. So he needed to heal us. And yes, I knew that I wasn't perfect. I knew that he wasn't perfect. That's why it needed healing. He needed time. He needed time. I needed time. And who knows? Only God knows the outcome. But I know it's not going to be an ugly ending. We win. We always win because who our creator is. And it's for good. It's not for bad. But he needed to heal, get your mind right, to make sure we're not serving the darkness. But the world already had disaster in this world. And we hold the inheritance. We hold our birthrights in this world. Why would we want leadership up there that's going to do nothing but disaster, what they've been doing to this world? He needed to get you right so we're not serving darkness in this world. It's to heal this land, to heal you, to heal me, to heal this world. And he's removing the darkness. Those are the elements of this world. There were the kings that were nothing but evil for this world. This is people that probably were making a lot of money. I mean, Pharaoh was a slavery. He was a slavery to the world. And Solomon went and married to the daughter of a man that's slaver, all of us. And he was our brother in Christ. And he married the slave driver that was sitting there wanting nothing bad for us. Why would you do that? Why? You don't need cloud. You have it. You're the king from royalty, from God. Why would you want to marry somebody that was nothing but darkness, but slavery to the people? We've been in slavery for so long. And you go marry the daughter of a captor that has sat there and done nothing but captivity and evil to God's people. And then you got a leader that's sitting there getting married and serving the darkness. So what are you going to teach the people? What are you going to teach the people that look up to you? You're going to teach them it's okay to go against everything that God is and worship other gods. But better yet, what Solomon did and went ahead and he turned his back on his own people and sat there and allowed the slavery that was going on to us. What kind of kingship are you going to be? What kind of queenship? I mean, we don't need that. And that's why he does the healing. Because if you're still serving the darkness, then what does he need you for? What does he need you? We already have that evilness of darkness. You see them. That's why they got dethroned. That's why they died. Some of them lasted to me a little bit too long. Why God allowed it only that long, only God knows. But some of them didn't even deserve to be up there, and yet they were. Now it says, likewise, did he for all his strange wives. He burned incense and sacrifice unto their gods. Isn't that sad? Sellouts. Those are people that sell out, period. And the Lord, there's the people that are bought at a price. When you know your worth, you learn not to sell yourself out no matter what. And the Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned away from the Lord God of Israel, which appeared unto him twice. He commended him concerning these things, that he should not go after other gods. And he kept not which the Lord commanded him. Because at that point he was like, shit, I'm the king. I could do what I want to do. Wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done to thee, thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, and I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and I will give it to thy servant. He took it from him, and he gave it to a servant. Notwithstanding in the days that I will not do it for David, thy father's sake, but I will rend it unto the hands of thy son. So he said, I told you, again, God is God. He just answered my question, why did he let it? Because he had made a promise to David. He said, Abraham has sold out. They worship darkness. Israel had done the same thing. They were idolizing. So they never got to see the promised land because they were serving darkness. So he let those generations perish, and that's in there. So then we got David's, Israel's now. And he's saying, don't make the same mistakes that your parents made. Be better than that, Howbeit that I will not rend away the kingdom, but he will give it to one of the tribes of thy son of David. It says, for my servant's sake, he did it. I thought I seen it out there. It says, for thy servant's sake. And the Lord stirred up adversary unto Solomon and Hadad. And the adversary unto Solomon and Hadad the Edomite. But he was on the king's seat of Edom. Everyone knows Edomites, right? They're the seed of Esau. For they came to pass when David was in Edom, and Joab and the captain of the host was gone up to bury and slain. But after he had smitten every male in Edom for 6 months, did Joab remain there with all Israel until he had cut off the male of Edom. And Hadad fled from a certain Edomites, and the fathers of the servants were with him to go into Egypt. Hadad was being a little child, and arose into Midians, and they came into Paran. And they took them out in Paran that came out of Egypt unto Pharaoh king of Egypt, and gave him a house, and appointed him as vehicles, and gave him the land. It's funny that the enemy is giving us land, or giving even our brothers and sisters land that already belongs to you. And it would have continued being like that if the children wouldn't have stood up and be living right. We would have been letting people sit in our lands and states and cities and vineyards that he built the finest for his children. And we're letting these people that have stole the lineage, our whole lineage, with those harlots that they made a covenant with, while they maintained that lie. That's all. They did it all for clout. All of it. The lies, everything. But who did they really betray? It's our Father, our Creator. He took them out of Paran, and they came to Egypt, and Pharaoh king of Egypt. They gave him into the house, and appointed him vehicles, and gave him in the land. Hadad found great favor in the sight of Pharaoh, so that he gave him to wife the sister of his own wife, and the sister of the Taphanes, the queen. The sister of Taphanes of Ganabath was the son of Taphanes, winged Pharaoh's house in Genabath, that was in Pharaoh's household among the sons of Pharaoh. And this is just what I wanted to do real quick. And the second one is for you to see why God asked you not to do that. And then you have a so-called king that is Pharaoh out there, has nothing to do with the lineage, and is saying, oh, here, I'll give you this person, I'll give you that person. And supposedly Solomon is a king, and who's calling the shots? Why do you think Pharaoh was calling the shots? Because you were still in slavery. We were still in slavery because we're playing harder to a man system. The renewal of your mind is getting to know the Bible, that it's women kingship. It's not men. And as you continue bowing down that it is man, he is a king, he is God, he prophesies, he says that. No. Do you think I'm waiting for a king to come and rescue me? No, I'm waiting for my Father to turn things around. And if he has somebody for me, good. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I'm serving him solely totally surrender myself to him. That's why I don't get distracted of the things in the world. I don't get distracted in the sauce that your king is coming to save you. My Father is. I own my kingship. My Father gave it back to me. He's restoring that. My birthright, the birthright to the correct ownership that began with. The only reason why Pharaoh even had a say so in any of this is because he was the God of the dead, not the God of the living. We were there because of slavery on our way into the promised land. And as you continue sinning, bowing down to the man system on our way to the promised land, that's why it has taken so long. What should have been 40 days and 40 nights wasn't, because you continue playing harlot, continue selling yourself, getting in relationship with men that have nothing to do with it. And you're wondering why. Because they want you at that window waiting for that king to come and rescue you. You're the king. And that's in Micah 4. Restoring the birthrights back to the daughter's kinship. When are you going to get that through your head? If he has somebody for me, they don't get crowned because we have to get crowned first. Don't let them believe that you need him to crown you. They have you fooled with saying that some girls are begging the guy, pick me, pick me. Are you kidding me? Pick me, it's you. It's you. It's the men that should be begging you to pick them. That's what they know who I am. Trust me, I had many that'll be like, I'll take her, pick me, pick me. And I said, no, my Father has a man for me at the end of the road. Whether he does or he doesn't, my king. It's not for that. It is to bring the children into the promised land because he's the God of the living, not the God of the dead. And as you continue bowing down to the man system, you stay in slavery. This is why I tell you what happened with Joseph. Joseph had to ask to go bury his dad, Jacob, because he was still in slavery. And you think that you're so secure, you want to get married to a king in the darkness, and you're totally messing the whole concept of all this. Be patient. Don't be desperate. If you're not married yet, don't sit there and take that bad, take that good, because you're not for sale. And I did one for you so you could know that you're not for sale. He's going to bring back what he started to begin with. No man will put an ascender in it. Be patient. Don't be rushing. Ask him, God, remove the counterfeits that are trying to come to me. Don't listen to people that are saying, hey, God said, call him. Hey, come on. Really? Really, God is going to ask you to go ahead and pick up the phone and go ahead and sin? You're a fool for believing even those ladies that are saying that. Woe to them, because they're liars. God doesn't sit there and tell you. If he would have been telling any me, it would have been me. He would have been saying, hey, tell my daughters, pick up the phone. You know what he said? Tell them to be content with what they have until I get there. Tell them to be content, because on the way to promised land, you're not for sale. Stop believing the lies of the people. I could have easily had settled for somebody way at this, and they were begging me, and they were saying, pick me, pick me. No, I said, my Father has for somebody at the end of this. Right now is to get the daughters into the promised land and preach deliverance to the world, to see how many people I bring to the King up here in the holy mountain of Zion. Let that sink in. Read all of it. 1 Kings 11, brothers and sisters, the answers